watch them all. But Twig wants to see them, so we gave Drayfrjg a call. Now they're bringing on their friends, and together they will view these. So sit back and relax. It's Twigs Missing Movies. Hello, welcome to Twigs Missing Movies, a show dedicated to watching the movies that Twig inexplicably hasn't seen. I'm your host, Drayfrjg, and here's our cinematically clueless crow, Corvus Twig. You get mad at it.
I'm never not going to get mad at it.
I mean, you just gotta get used to it, bud.
Look, okay. How many movies do we have to watch before you stop calling me that?
All of them.
Every movie on the list?
Yep.
It's like 1,000 movies.
Yep, that's a you problem, not a me problem.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, well.
You're the one that hates the title, not me.
It's not, I mean, I guess I just need to watch as many movies as you've watched, at least.
Yeah,
I mean,
you just gotta catch up.
I don't like ketchup.
You don't like ketchup? Okay. Have you ever tried mushroom ketchup?
Okay, mushroom ketchup's pretty good. I like ketchup that's more savory than sweet.
Yeah, okay, so that's the problem with American ketchup, is that we add corn syrup and sugar to it. When you make a ketchup at home, it's actually kind of easy. It's really easy to do. If you have a way to puree, you basically, how I do it is I will blanch and peel skin off a tomato, and then I will typically saute the onions a little bit, get them brown. I'll toss that in, toss some garlic in, toss some white vinegar in, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then puree it until it's like a homogeneous consistency.
Yeah.
And then I'll push that through a sieve once or twice until it's a little bit finer. And then what I'll do is I'll take that and put that through a cheesecloth and put that into a sterile container. And then if I need to, I usually taste test it at this point. If it needs a little bit more vinegar, I add a little bit more vinegar. But then I let it sit in the fridge for about a week or so, so it kind of ferments together.
Okay.
And it's totally worth it.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better than the ketchup that is served at literally every restaurant you go to, except for
if you ever go to Germany or into Europe, you'll have more of that savory ketchup with a lot less sickeningly sweet sugar in it.
I like that ketchup that's at Asian restaurants that has the rooster on the label.
Do you mean fish sauce?
Yeah, I was talking about sriracha. We like sriracha.
I guess that's a ketchup if you think about it.
Is there even any tomatoes in it, or is it all red pepper?
No, it's a. I'm looking this up now. Sriracha.
Yeah, we're looking it up. Yep. That's what we do. We're live recording the show, and we are going to pause now to look things up, because that's what we do. We talk about things that have absolutely nothing to do with the movie that we're talking about for 10 minutes, and then we talk for 5 minutes about the movie, and then we go into the movie.
Are you complaining? I mean, I can just...
I'm not complaining. Just letting our audience know.
I guess it doesn't count because it doesn't have any fruits in it.
Peppers are a fruit. Got you there. Ha ha ha.
Bear with me for a second.
We always talk about, tomatoes technically a fruit. Yeah, so is like half the things we call vegetables. If it's like a bud on a plant that contains the seeds, it's a fruit. So like eggplants are fruit, pumpkins are fruit, peppers are fruit.
Okay, so it's mushrooms or fruits are typical to ketchups.
Yeah.
So
mushrooms, not a fruit, not a vegetable.
It's delicious. A fungi.
Delicious fungi.
Just like Corvus here.
I'm a fun guy. Yay.
No, I don't know. I guess sriracha counts as a ketchup if you like.
Yeah.
Stretch.
But I mean
in the same
sriracha is just
whiskey.
Not spicy enough. I mean, I want a really spicy sauce, one that causes like major pain.
You should. I'm going to plug another VTuber here real quick. The Grimmy sauces made by the VTuber Grimmy are actually really fucking good and have a lot of kick to them and a lot of flavor.
Oh,
they are kind of expensive if you live out of country, But they're like $7, $8 a bottle, and I mean, I think they're worth it. I prefer the Serrano hot sauce one. Uh, I think I can't remember the name of it, but there's a Serrano one, a habanero pineapple one, and then Reaper. I think it's Reaper and ghost pepper sauce. And I don't do ghost peppers usually because I have some trauma related to ghost peppers, um, that I won't go into on stream.
Well, ghost peppers are just, they have crappy flavor and they're just
Yep.
spicy for the sake of spicy.
Yep. And
But,
and ooh, go ahead.
but I was going to say, I'm really mad at you because I gave us the perfect segue and you completely ignored it and just blasted past it.
Hey, listen, man. I have a diagnosis or two under my belt. Okay.
Look, I was just saying that I want a hot sauce that causes me major pain.
God, that is a good segue. Fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
It's a fucking good segue,
I
but
guess
now we can't use it, so we're just
Well, it's too late now. It's too late now. We're getting into it. Fuck. That was a good one. I didn't even catch it. That's
Yeah.
how smooth it was.
Whoops, that's the wrong movie poster. I
That
got
is
the wrong movie poster.
So today, Twig, we have a Cyphers. No, not Cyphers. A painful one for you. Haha. Eat shit. I can make segues too. Chosen by our local vampire tiger goblin, Tora, who is a new member to your server with Bentai, amongst others.
Yeah, she's one of the spooky zoo VTubers.
Yes.
Trying to get more.
Her model is quite green.
He's very green. He's very green.
Very green.
Hey, look, I got the right movie poster up this time.
So this is Major Payne, released on March 24th, 1995, directed by Nick Castle. It is a comedy put together by an all-star cast of writers such as Damon Wayans, Dean Lorey, Gary Rosen, William Roberts, Richard Allen Simmons. It begs the question of what a military person can do for his country in many ways that's not on a battlefield. The cast, including the writer Damon Wayans, Damian Dante Wayan. I don't know why their mother did that to themselves, but here we are. Orlando Brown, Stephen Martini, Karen Parsons, and Chris Owens, just to name a few. I'm sure it will be a knee-slapping salute of a good time.
Yep. So it's like it's a movie. It's a military comedy. Basically. I mean, it's a Wayans Brothers movie. I mean,
Yeah.
well, I suppose it's not really a Wayans Brothers movie. It just stars one of the Wayans.
It's technically a Wayans Brothers movie. Damon wrote in it. He starred in it.
Yeah.
Both brothers are in it.
Okay. Well, but I mean, isn't there like 4 brothers?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
There's like Damon, Marlon,
Hold on. Who's the last
the
one?
others.
I think it's just Sean.
Sean Wayans. Yes, that's the other one.
Yeah, yeah. It's Sean, Marlon, Damon, and Damien.
Yeah, those are like the main ones. But I think they also have some. Don't they also have like some sisters or something that sometimes show up? Like I thought I remember there being like a Kim.
Yeah, there's a Kim, and then I think there's also a Keenan Wayans. There's a lot of Wayans.
Yeah.
Just like there's a lot of Segwayans.
Ah.
I shouldn't quit my day job. So I mean, let's get into it. What do you know about the movie, Twig?
Well, I know that it is a comedy. I know that Damon Wayans is the titular Major Payne. And, he's Pun's title. So his last name is Payne, but he's also a Major Payne, because he's Payne in the butt. And I know that it roughly involves him no longer being in the military and having to then be a caretaker or teacher of a group of children, which is something that I think anybody could guess just by looking at the movie poster.
Because for sure.
we got a military guy and we got children, and but as far as I'm sure there's more plot to it than that, but that's basically what I know, is that Major Payne ends up being a caretaker of some sort for children, and I'm guessing that he's probably a little bit rough on them because he's using military style discipline on children.
It's kind of like Scared Straight, but funny.
Yeah.
They never made the necessary and requisite sequel to Scared Straight, Scared Gay.
Scared Gay.
Scared Gay.
So yeah, that would be better.
So what?
So is Scared Gay basically they just expose young children to how fucked up hetero, relationships are?
How aggressively heterosexual everything is in the world?
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I know is a common phrase in gay communities is, "Are the straights okay?"
Are the straights okay is my favorite subreddit.
Yeah.
Sort of. It's not my actual favorite, but I like being on there a lot because it makes me feel better about myself sometimes.
Well, I mean, as a straight myself, I look at that and being like, I have never even had a thought to do any of those things. Am I not normal?
No, I talk about this a lot. I feel like the internet is a melting pot of things, and sometimes what would normally have been casted under the radar of humanity and our many facets of just not caring about each other, we now have a microscope into the very detailed lives of everyone around us. And so we're catching more of these weird anomalies that show up. I would say safely maybe 70% of straights are generally okay.
Yeah.
But there's a 30% that gives us those wonderful subreddit posts. So why haven't you seen Major Payne?
That's actually a really good question because I was 10 years old when this movie came out. So it literally came out at like prime time for me to see a movie like this.
Yeah.
And I guess in my circle of family and friends, it was just never a movie that happened to be brought up and watched. And then, once I became a teenager and a little bit older, I guess it just was not... it just was not in our radar. There was cooler, edgier stuff to watch by the Wayans brothers, like Scary Movie and Scary Movie 2.
I forgot they did Scary Movie.
Yeah. I don't think they did all the movies, but they definitely did a few of the first few Scary Movies. I did also a Twigs Missing Movie. I mean, I think I've seen the first 3 Scary Movies, but a Twigs Missing movie that the Wayans are in is a little movie called White Chicks. I don't think I'm going to be...
I love that movie.
Do you?
It's not a movie I would say I love if I hadn't seen it when I was young and didn't know better. It's hard to love, especially because it does not age well.
I imagine. And that's the thing I'm worried about this one is it's a comedy from the mid-90s and I'm worried that there's going to be some problematic stuff in here.
Going through the list, I'm going to tell you this now. There's definitely some movies on that list that are going to be kind of landmine-ish, right? Because they are old movies,
Yeah.
And we have to look at it through the lens that we look at old cartoons that maybe had racist or terrible depictions, These do not reflect the views of us now, right?
Yeah.
That we're watching this almost purely for the academic value out of it at this point.
Yes, the academic value of Major Payne.
Hey, you joke about that, but there's study that goes into comedy.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I guess one of the things is that I know that this is a movie that was very important for young Black individuals of our age. It's not often you get a mainstream movie that stars a Black man, and that is important. And it's good representation is good, even if 30 years later that representation may not be the best.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, it goes back to, like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Is that always the best reputation of queer people? No. But at the time, it was fantastic representation for queer people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like...
It just existed in a movie.
I feel like most of the problematic stuff in that is, like, a lot of the terminology, because we don't really use the terms transvestite or transsexual anymore.
No, definitely not.
It's, And then, some of the stuff that Frankenfurter does is a little questionable. But, I mean, he is also a villain, He's not supposed to be a good guy. But whatever. We're not talking about Rocky Horror, because you talk about Rocky Horror for hours. We're talking about Major Payne. So we've talked about what I know.
We can't go down that road. It'll be there. We'll be there for 30, 40 minutes before we actually watch the movie. So
prediction
with
time?
that, we get to the prediction, my favorite part. I always love this part because it shows me kind of a way of how you think.
All right. Well, the first thing I want to predict is, so we know that he's no longer in the military. So the first prediction I need to make is, why does he leave the military? Does he retire? Or is he like kicked out? Or is raising these kids an assignment that he's put on? Why is he left military training and is now in charge of these kids? That's my first prediction that I don't know. And I'm going to predict that I don't think he would have been dishonorably discharged. That doesn't seem like a way to... I'm going to guess that he has... Payne has retired from the army. That's going to be my first prediction. Now, as for why he's caring for these kids, I'm going to say one of the kids is related to Payne. That's my next prediction. And oops, I think I need to adjust my margins a little bit so it's not going off the screen there. Whatever, it's fine. We see it on there, fine. So let's see here. Another prediction. I'm going to predict that a foreign enemy has a sinister plot, and that okay, I'm gonna do that as a little bit later. Next one, my next prediction is that Payne will go too far with his treatment of the kids. And let's see. Well, like, I don't know how far. Like, maybe one of them runs away. No, that seems... I mean, goes too far with the treatments of the kid almost seems like a gimme. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that seems too easy.
That seems too easy. I'm gonna say, okay, foreign enemy has a sinister plot. One of the kids gets kidnapped as a result of Payne's overbearing methods. That sounds a little bit better. So, like, he's too harsh on them, and then they, like, run away, and then, like... Yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get you. I follow.
Okay, I'm going to shrink this a little bit and move it down a little bit just so people can see all the words. There we go. That's good. And I'm going to say... Payne leads charge against enemy, and that the kids end up saving the day. And that's going to be my thing. The kids are going to end up saving the day. Because there's got to be some sort of villain and bad guy in this movie, right? I don't know. Is maybe that fifth point is also a little bit too broad. I'm going to say Payne is beaten by the enemy. Yeah. Okay.
Those are good predictions. Predictions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you need to get 4 out of 6 to be a winner.
Now, what do we count? Like halfway predictions as like half a point or something?
Yeah, halfway predictions is half a point.
Okay. I mean, I think that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
We gotta get a little metric thing to show up.
Sorry, we're not European. We don't use metric.
We're at to get one of them Imperialics.
Yeah.
Imperialics. I don't like that word. I just made it up, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. But, I mean, I guess at this point, then, there's really not much else to do but watch the movie.
Oh, shit. All right, guys. We'll see you all in a little bit.
And when we return, we will have watched Major Payne. And we're back! Yay!
Look at that time travel!
Yeah. It's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh,
Tora,
why
you're
am I-
frozen. Yeah, you're unfrozen.
Yay!
Yeah, it's a very
got
short
everyone
movie.
frozen.
Very short movie.
that was the why. Why was I frozen? Hello.
Well, welcome everybody. We're gonna talk about the movie now, but of course we must introduce because before you're watching two birds, but now there's a green tiger here too. This is Tora. If you want to know more about Tora, just go back a few weeks and watch an episode of of Sunday Dusk. And whoa,
That's
we
big.
got
Oh my god! You have too many products in the bank, sir.
That is not what I wanted.
You are.
That needs to be turned off.
You got a buy heart on you.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy, but you made the PNG go bye-bye.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
fixed it.
It's okay. Hey, we're here. You know, I'm here with two people who are not cis heteros. So we're celebrating Pride Month. We like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tora, welcome.
Hello.
Are you trying to say that we're like some kind of special hire?
We're the diversity hires.
We're the diversity hires? That's the word I was looking for.
I mean, Dre's gonna be here at pretty much every episode, probably every episode.
Am I the diversity hire? Huh?
Well,
Do I have to bring spice?
I mean, kind of not. I mean, you are also a Corvid, so I mean, it's kind of
Whoa.
There
we go. Okay. I was blinking for some reason.
Yeah, well, you got to keep your eyes moist.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
No, robots don't have eyeballs. I mean, I have
eyeballs.
I have the appearance of eyeballs, but
to wipe the dust off of your sensory optical input lenses.
Fair.
Yeah.
Glass was smudged on the cameras.
Yes.
Yeah, that happens. I swear to God, my VR headset, like my eye pieces get smudged, even though I don't touch them. How are they getting oils on them when I'm not even touching them?
Do you wear glasses, Twig?
No.
That's why. Forehead sweat.
Okay.
Wait.
Forehead sweat.
Do glasses prevent the forehead sweat?
I don't see how they would, but
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know it.
Because then it smudges the glasses instead. Trust me, I know. I wear glasses.
I trust you. I trust you.
I trust. I'm perplexed.
At least that's how it works for me.
So Tora, we originally had a different movie lined up, but due to circumstances with me, I had you pick a different one, and you went through the list, and the one that you selected was Major Payne. And so I guess my next question is, why did you do this to me?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what to charge you with.
Oh,
maybe that's spoiling the end of the episode, but yes. Why'd you pick this movie?
I picked this movie because it brings up memories of me and my dad. We used to watch this together, and then play Call of Duty Classic on dial-up internet.
Oh my god!
Back when it was just
on dial-up
World War
internet
II.
on multiplayer.
Back when it was just good old shooting.
Yeah, there was a story. It was you're going through World War II, and then you could do multiplayer. That was the story. That was the campaign.
It was a great story. It was a great campaign. I remember when it came out. The first one came out. I remember staying up at my friend's house and playing through it all night, and thinking it was the best thing ever. Because before that, right, the before game was Medal of Honor. That was the game that was really big and popular as a war shooter before Call of Duty came out. Call of Duty came out. Battlefield came out. Now look at Medal of Honor. Gone. Eaten.
Right.
And Call of Duty is basically the Madden of shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
and Battlefield's just we don't know what's going on with Battlefield. They're having an identity crisis, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They should make one that's like all across the world and call it Battlefield Earth.
That'd be cool. We also played a lot of Unreal Tournament 2K4.
That's a good game.
There were 6 install discs, and that boggled my mind at the time.
6. God.
6.
Now it's just like You need to have 150 gigabytes free to play this game.
Right.
I don't want to talk about the fact that the new expansion coming out for Destiny 2 is like rumored to be 300 gigabytes, and how I cleared out 300 gigabytes on my computer. Just don't look at me, guys. The things I do.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a good idea to, when you feel like you're done playing a game for a bit, just uninstall it. Trey nuked his porn directory.
I did not.
No. Dre's probably more of a browse, catch and release type guy. No.
Absolutely, except for a few things. A few things that I'm like, this is good artsmanship to the point where I need to collect it because it's so good. Like, I don't even want it for the porn's sake. I want it for just how well it's drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just, Chef Kids, this person put a lot of work into making this sloppy toppy look both pleasurable and delicious.
But I looked up how big Unreal Tournament was, and it was only 5.5 gigs.
Oh yeah, but that was a lot back then.
When you only had a 40, when you had a 40 gigabyte hard drive.
What was it? I recently found a fan project for the Battlefield for Middle Earth games, like all of them with all their DLC and all of the patches. Like, you can install specific patches. 4 gigabytes. Effectively 3 whole games.
That's bananas.
With 9 patches for each one.
I do remember when they came on floppies.
I had games on floppies. Oh yeah.
DieFed had his resume on a floppy disk, I'm sure.
I had my first computer was a black and green one that used 5-inch floppies. Good memories. Played Frogger on that.
The first computer that
G.I.
we
Joe
had
game was pretty good.
Was Windows 95.
Played a game called Montezuma's Revenge.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Yeah.
You downloaded Doom over 9,600 kbs. Oh my god.
SimCity 2K on 3 fly floppies. I played a lot of SimCity 2K.
Them's the days.
Well, okay, now we're getting off too much on video games. We're talking about them.
We're way off topic here.
Well,
so anyway, you watch this movie with your dad, and so you have fond memories of your childhood, growing up as a little tiger. In fact, there was a character. I mean, you're a tiger. Did you name your? Did you go with your theme after the little kid in this movie? They called him Tiger.
No.
No.
Actually, I was wanting to get into the furry world, and a friend actually helped me decide what animal to be for my first fursona. So that's where the tiger came from.
Nobody ever picks banana slug, or
there are some banana slug.
I'm sure there are
personas out there. They're really cool looking.
You know what? There's such a plethora of furries and VTuber furries out there, and it's like, the endless creativity. I like to think of it like this: the furries are like the melting pot of creativity of sorts for the human species. Ask them what they want to be, and they will show you.
There was a weird uptick in a lot of horse-related fursonas about 12 years ago.
Couldn't have been My Little Pony related.
Absolutely not. Not related at all.
Mm-mm.
God, it was probably even more than 12 years ago that show came out.
It came out in 2013.
2013? Okay. Long time.
2012, 2013. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I don't think any of the characters in this movie were furry, so...
No.
That we know of.
If anybody would have been a furry, I think it would have been Tiger.
I would have pegged the that lieutenant guy.
I know you would have pegged him, but I mean that doesn't have anything to do with whether or not he was
my type. First of all, hateful content here in this little show.
Ow.
I would have pointed at him as to be the furry, the closeted furry.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, we gotta start with this movie with the opening scene. We know that Major Payne is a badass because they are, of course, playing Bad to the Bone. I mean, You gotta
It's
start the movie
necessary.
off with bad to the bone to know that your
Absolutely
guy's a
necessary.
badass. Because how else will you know if we don't play that specific song? It's not cliche or anything. God, it was
No.
by then it had to have been already way too cliche. But then he's just
I'm
like
sure.
going in. He's like, "Oh, you're shot. Let me break your finger." And then he gets like the leader of the drug gang, and they're like, "Hey, these guys are drug dealers. That makes it okay for us to be murdering them in mass because this is the middle of the war on drugs in the 90s, and therefore anybody who's dealing drugs deserves to die." I mean, drug cartels are scumbags, but you know what I mean. They had to find somebody who is absolutely justified in them going in and murdering, because we were kind of beyond the Gulf War at that point. So it's just like, oh, who can we have Major Payne go and just murder a bunch of? And then he gets to the leader, and he's got a gun against his head, and he's like, "We don't care if you kill our boss. We got you surrounded." He's like, "But what if I shove a gun up his ass?" And then we just cut, and everything seems to have been okay. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's an interesting plot story start.
And then he's like, "Well, you're a really good killing machine, but we're not going to promote you. So apparently you can only be up for promotion twice or you're discharged," which is something I've never heard of being a thing in the military. But they're like,
Me either.
Well, it was more that they said that, I think they said, and I quote, "There's no more wars to fight, so we have no need for you, so we can't promote you." He's like, "What do you mean? We killed them all. They're all dead. There's no more enemies."
Yep, there's no more enemies whatsoever. It's just like, come on, Major Payne, just wait 6 more years. Then you'll have plenty of enemies to kill.
Yeah.
The irony.
And then he's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go and try civilian life." And then he goes and does an improv audition for the police and beats the shit out of the guy who's the abusive husband.
That was
And he's like,
something else.
"I certainly can't live in civilian life." It's like, I don't know. If you're a trained killer, why not join Blackwater or something? I bet they would have some use for you.
I just feel like he didn't look that hard. That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't have
Yeah.
the resources to find the jobs out there.
Honestly, I think he just went to the wrong academy. With his violent, abusive things, I bet the LAPD would have loved to have him.
Oh my god.
He went to the wrong police department. But then they finally find an assignment for him. There's an ROTC group at the local boarding school, and they need a new drill instructor, and that's how he gets in. I gotta say, why did he choose the voice? What was with that voice? That's not Damon Wayans' normal speaking voice. Why did he decide to do a high-pitched, goofy voice?
Because it's a comedy?
But I feel like it hurt the comedy. Like, if he had been, a gruff, tough-sounding guy, then that would have made so many of the comedy beats sound better. But because he had that voice, he was goofy, and thus, you make the other, the kids goofy, and the situation's goofy, and have a serious guy be the straight man. That's how freaking comedy works. But if you make him have a weird, goofy voice, it doesn't work. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Tora?
So you're the serious one out of the three of us here, the straight man?
No, I think it's you.
No, you're the straight man.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
You're the
fair
straight.
enough. Fair
You're
enough.
the straight man. See? Hello.
I'm not gay enough to be VTubing in June.
You're fine. I wonder if Damon is on Twitter, because we could just ask him, why did you choose the voice you did in Major Payne?
But of course, he was not the only one of the main cast to be putting on this weird, crazy voice. There was also the one kid who was like, and that's how he talked.
Sound like Call of Duty lobby the entire movie.
Yeah, it did.
Oh my god, I hated that kid. That kid, and then that kid is just like, oh, he got demoted from squad leader, and so then apparently he then joined the rival school.
I vaguely remember.
Well, it's like he dropped out, and we never saw him again. And then in the final scene in the competition, he's suddenly on one of the rival school teams. It's like, okay, well, I came out of nowhere, but all right. Yeah, that kid was annoying. And it's just like they had this squad of kids. It was just like there wasn't a lot of character development with a lot of them. We had the ginger kid who was just like sick all the time. Well, he never learned to not be sick. Not that you could anyway. And then there was, the overweight kid that just kind of felt like the butt of a lot of jokes. I don't like that as much. There's some of the kids hardly got anything at all. There was the one who was dropping his gun a lot, but then at the end learned how to be a good gun spinner. The one that got the most screen time was Tiger, the little kid, and his whole thing was you can't participate. You're too young because. I don't know why he was even there. I mean, they say he was adopted.
He was like toddler.
He was like adopted by the school, but he's still participating in the high school or junior high level events. And it's just like, why? Why is he?
Yeah.
Why is this? Like, I understand that the school could adopt this kid, but why is he in the ROTC?
Yeah.
Didn't make sense.
What Haseo said: love interest required by law.
Ah, yes, the love interest. Let's talk about. Insert character here. She was played by the same actress who played Hillary on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And honestly, I thought she was one of the better actors in the movie.
Absolutely.
Like, I thought she did a great job doing the part, but her part was not well written, and it's not the worst love story I've ever seen in a movie because I've seen Star Wars Episode 2, but...
Hold up. That's a beautiful love story. What are you on about?
But
we
it's just like,
we all
okay.
hate sand, right? That's the most romantic thing you can say to somebody.
Like, here's the love story in this movie. They first meet... And she seems like, okay, you seem all right. Happy to meet you. Then he shows his true thing. She's like, holy shit, you're a fucking psycho. And she's yelling at him. And he's a complete psychopath. And then, as the movie progresses, he doesn't change. He doesn't stop being a psychopath. But suddenly she's like, I love you. Because we went out on a date and you danced. And now we're going to kiss. And it just completely... Like, she has no reason to be attracted to him. I think she should have been, like, a stern voice and one to, like, hey, to try and guide him towards being a better person. But you could have done that without there being a romance part of it, you know? I don't know. It would be nice to see, like, hey, let's have two attractive adults be a lead and work together and not have it have to be romantic.
Yeah. Well, it was the 90s. Everything had to be romantic at some point.
It's true. I mean,
I don't remember much
how
of the 90s,
many movies from the 90s had unrelated, unnecessary romantic side plots that were going on.
Now you'd think on the poster that she would be second billing. No, she wasn't. Damon Williams is top billing, but who got second billing? Oh, Michael Ironside. All right. And I was so excited. I'm like, oh, he must play the villain in the movie. No, he's in literally one scene.
Who's Michael Ironside?
An actor.
That's about as far as I understand.
Is
that the school director or principal or whatever?
No, he's the father of, like, the badass kid who ends up being the...
Oh, okay. Who Wayne ends up grabbing his hand as he's getting ready to hit...
Yeah, like, Michael Ironside was in Starship Troopers, Scanners, Total Recall, Top Gun...
So he was a villain. You were right.
Yeah.
He was a villain.
Well, he kind of. Can you really say that the movie's villain is somebody who appears in one scene and is just a jerk to a kid?
I didn't say he was the villain. Just a villain.
Okay, I guess that's fair. That's right, Bentai. He was Jester in Top Gun.
I've never seen Top Gun.
Well, that is not a Twigs Missing movie. I have seen it, but I haven't seen Maverick, so...
Maybe we should do Tora's Missing Movies once you run out of movies.
Someday. Yes, oh, God. Okay, there was that old man in the office that he talked to, another actor who was in one scene and didn't really have any... There was a lot of this movie that didn't really seem to fill any purpose.
Yeah, but again, it was the 90s.
Yeah. I gotta say, it's like a veritable nothing burger. which it says a lot. Like, there's a lot of nothing burgers out there, right? And sometimes it's fine to have a nothing burger. But like, if you're all noticing, I'm being remarkably silent because I remember absolutely nothing about this movie whatsoever.
Well, like, the big thing that it builds up to is, like, you know, he's there to help them win a competition, and it's literally just a yearly competition between the ROTC groups at several boarding schools. That's it. So really, really low stakes. Like,
Yeah.
but the thing is, like, to motivate them, he's like, well, you all hate me if you win the trophy. Or, no, he didn't even say if you earn the trophy. If you get the trophy, then I will leave. And one of the ways they got it is in one scene they go to the other school and they try to steal it. But they fail. That kid there tries to steal it, and he fails at stealing it. And then he's like, you know what? No. My dad was a jerk. I tried to steal it. No, I want to earn it. And then we get a training montage, and they are using the American Gladiators Q-tip wands and climbing up things. And I mean, I gotta say, this movie was a comedy. Now, were there any scenes that actually made you laugh?
I can't recall, like, where it was intentionally funny. It was supposed to be set up to be funny with, like, a punchline and stuff. Like, I can't recall. There were things that I found funny because, like, I grew up in the military, like, in a military family, and my brothers all did ROTC, and so there were things that I was like, that's actually kind of funnily accurate to how it is sometimes. But no, nothing that was outrightly funny.
I think the best joke in the movie is, so in the opening scene, his fellow man is wounded and he breaks his finger to stop the pain. And then in the first scene in the school, Tiger comes up to him, and I don't remember what the problem was, but he grabs the kid's finger and is about to break it. And that kind of made me laugh.
He was gonna get a shot.
Oh yeah, he was going to get a shot. I'll take your mind off the shot, and breaks the finger. Yeah. And then let's see, what other jokes that I actually laughed at?
I think the one that's behind me now, the
kid in the dress, that was uncomfortable.
That was the scene that happens when they're all wearing dresses and running. That made me giggle.
Okay, that was amusing, at least. Yeah, there we go, right there.
Yeah.
There was, I guess, one scene when he starts yelling at a guy, and like the guy's like, he's deaf, and he goes, "Oh, I'm not gonna make fun of that." But then, like, can you read my lips? Can you read my hands? He's like, yeah, and he calls him a turd. That was a funny in a very different way.
Like, I really did like calling those kids turds. Okay, and here, the shooting the closet. I thought that was kind of funny.
To get rid of the monster. Yeah.
Did you just steal Twigs popcorn?
No, Sarah came with me to the studio again, and she wanted off of my lap.
She totally stole some of my popcorn.
He definitely stole popcorn.
Definitely stole some of my popcorn.
He definitely stole popcorn.
Nice,
Stop stealing from my popcorn. Stop stealing my popcorn. What the fuck?
Where's my
popcorn? Honestly, when he shot up that closet, I was half expecting one of the kids to be hiding in that closet to scare Tiger.
That would have been
a little too dark. A little too dark.
I mean, nowadays I could see that being a thing.
Oh my god, stop.
Like in an actual horror movie. But I think that was the turning point for him liking the kids.
Everyone's like, where's Tora's popcorn? Where's Tora's popcorn? Okay, you know what? There's Tora's popcorn. Are you happy?
Yay, I got some popcorn!
I can't
Stop stealing mine!
I can't eat popcorn.
What?
It makes me sick.
Why have you been stealing ours then?
I wasn't.
Okay, fine. No more popcorn for you.
Yeah, take the popcorn away.
I was trying to push the bags over.
Popcorn away.
I was trying to push them over.
Yeah, as Hasio says, like they should have just had one of the kids just not be in the movie after that closet shooting scene and just never mention it.
Yep.
Oh, and there's Bam Bam Bigelow. We had a scene where one of the kids... So the kids do like a series of things to try and get Major Payne. They put the laxatives in the cupcake. They try to take the picture of him with the kid in the dress. And one of them calls Bam Bam Bigelow to come beat up Major Payne. But then, of course, Major Payne kicks Bam Bam Bigelow's ass.
Who is Who is this person?
He's a professional wrestler. He was a big pro wrestler in the early 90s.
Yeah, he was huge.
We have to remember Tora was 5 when this movie came out.
Yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
So I'm not gonna recognize a lot of the names.
Yeah, then they get to the competition, and the group's like 1 week of intense training seems to have somehow paid off, and they end up doing pretty well in the competition. But of course, Major Payne has left them because the commander shows up and is like, "We have a new assignment for you. We're gonna get you that promotion." But then, when out on that promotion, he sees a vision of him with the school director, and she's his wife, and Tiger is their child, and they're having a barbecue. And then an Asian stereotype shows up, and he kills the Asian stereotype. And yeah, that was uncomfortable. But yeah, he's like, "No, I want this life." And so he goes back and does absolutely nothing. He just shows up and is like, "You guys can do this." And then they go out and they do what is essentially a dance routine, but with guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
at least it wasn't Stomp.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's just like,
that brings me to another movie that you might not have seen. Have you ever seen Cadet Kelly?
I have not.
Okay, well, that's episode number 4 with Tora then.
Yeah, so many movies. No time to watch them all, but Twig wants to see them, so if Drayfrjg a call.
What was that?
Sorry, I'm just muttering the theme song.
Oh.
Yeah. There's Michael Ironside, by the way, in those pictures right
now.
The whole scene would have made no sense in person because there'd not have been music. But yeah, so what I'm saying is just like there was a lot of really weird musical choices in this. Like songs that just didn't seem to fit the tone of it at all. There was one that really stood out to me, and I can't remember what it was right now, but Jesus, it was
all over the place.
It was like an Aretha Franklin song over like...
Was it during the dance?
No, it wasn't during the dance. It was earlier in the movie, but... Might have been Respect. Yeah, it was Respect. They were playing Respect, and it was just like... But, like, it didn't quite work right. I don't know. Yeah, in the end, the kids win it. He sticks with the ROTC. Then he gets a new kid, and the kid is blind and has a seeing eye dog. And then the seeing eye dog kid mouths off to him, and then he's like, "Haha, now you have a shaved head." And then they also shave the dog. But also, one thing that stood out to me is like the seeing eye dog was a German Shepherd and was also barking and biting viciously at Major Payne. And I'm like, I'm sorry, a dog that barks and bites viciously at people would never be a seeing eye dog?
Yeah. Any dog that's reactive like that is immediately thrown out of the program.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be that he was alerting to something with Major Payne. I don't know.
Usually they wouldn't do it like that. That's not the alerting behavior. I mean, I don't know a ton about, guide dogs, but
usually it's like a paw, or they lay down, or they sit and put their paw on you to try to get your attention kind of thing.
Yeah.
Aw, the little picture on the rock.
Well, I want to get to my predictions because there's something more I want to talk about, but it needs to be done in the context of my predictions.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Let's get to your predictions.
Okay. Well, I said Payne has retired from the army. That was wrong. He did not retire. Not so much as like he was.
Vine boom.
Oops. I didn't mean to do text color red. I meant to do highlight red. Let's see here. One of the kids is related to Payne.
Vine boom, wrong.
Nope. There's a foreign enemy with a sinister plot.
Vine boom, wrong.
Nope.
I would say...
kidnapped. What?
I was gonna say, I would say sort of like the foreign enemy is the other school.
Yeah, but Twig's intent here was like foreign country, like Russia.
Yeah, that's clearly not what I meant.
Asian country.
Yeah,
that's fair. My ears are too tall.
When the kid gets kidnapped as a result of Payne's overbearing methods. No.
Vine Boom wrong.
Payne beaten by the enemy. No.
There we go.
The kids end up
Vine Boom
saving the
wrong.
day. I'm going to give myself that one.
Yeah, Vine Boom, right.
So the most obvious cliche ending to it possible is the only one I got right.
That's just the product of most 90s movies, right? A lot of them were just feel-good movies. At the end of the movie, everybody wins.
Here's what I wanted to say is I was watching the pre-roll with this. All I was thinking is, wow, I wished I had watched that movie instead.
Oh, the one that you predicted?
Yes. Because here's the thing with Major Payne. I feel like, based on the premise, there's a good movie in there. There's a good movie based on the premise of a military guy who's a little overbearing, taking over an ROTC group, and whipping them into shape. There's a good movie 100%. In that plot. But some of the choices made in this, like, okay, even with the plot they gave us, okay, so here's the plot. They have to win the ROTC competition. Okay, we needed to have an early establishing scene of the ROTC from the rival school bullying them and being mean and establishing these are the bad guys. At one point in the second act, there should be a pre-competition where it's like not official, where the bad guys end up beating them badly. That's what we needed. If you're going to have a competition at the end, you have to have your heroes lose, and the bad guys need to be bullies and well-established. That never happened.
Right.
Now you're just establishing the movie as a cheap heavyweights knockoff, which is definitely what this is.
Heavyweights, or Mighty Ducks, or...
Oh my god, Mighty Ducks is a better example. My god, you're right.
Yeah, they were beaten, just not in the movie itself.
Yeah, it's a cliche plot, but it's a kid's movie. This is a kid's movie. And it feels like they could have taken that beat and it could have worked out just fine. Then, like, he shouldn't have done the voice. No voice. Do more of a military-style voice, not this goofy voice.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have had a younger kid in it. Like, I think Tiger could have worked somehow, but they should have had him have some other kind of special skill that's well established early in the movie that ends up paying off. Like I said, there wasn't really much setup and payoff.
Cute little kid. That was like his whole thing, was just being the cute little kid.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think he should have been a little overbearing, a little mean. And then Hillary, I'm just going to call her Hillary because that's the only character that she plays whose name I know.
I think
she should have been the one to help guide him to be a better person. And you know what? I could have even had a little love story between them, because I think maybe they could have had Major Payne be overbearing and too tough on them. But he wasn't just overbearing and too tough. He was completely psychotic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Major Payne was just dumb. Like, had absolutely no concept of human interaction or how people think.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's like he was brainwashed when he joined, and that was all he knew after that.
Yep. Now, see, again, this goes back to what Twig was saying. There's a good movie in there. There's a lot of plot points that they could have made into a good movie. But what it feels like is that they did archaeology on this writing, and then instead of taking the bones, they took all the dirt. And then they walked away and went, we're going to make this into the bones.
Yeah. Too many crayons. Yeah, that's fair, Ben.
Too many. Yeah, definitely. Like, this is definitely a Marine stereotype of too many crayons through and through. Which sucks because it's not nearly that bad.
Yeah.
So Twig, I think I have to ask this. I have a few questions to ask. The first one.
Great Bros movie.
Are you glad you watched this movie?
No. I think any of the other movies that Tora had recommended, I would have. No, this movie was not good. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
There was a couple bits of comedy in it that were okay, but for the most part, it was just baffling decision. The comedy didn't work. I wasn't invested in any of the characters. I'm sorry, this was not a good movie.
Hey, that's okay.
I can understand, you watch it when you're a kid. I can understand this is a kind of movie when if you watch it as a kid, you have sentimental value to it. It can mean something to people. But I'm watching it now in my life. I did not enjoy this movie. I mean, I enjoyed talking about it. I enjoyed analyzing it, but
Right.
I think I definitely could have lived the rest of my life having never seen this movie and been just fine.
That's totally fair. You don't have to like every movie you watch. And I watching it again, I'm with you. It is not a good movie. Like,
No.
But hey, you know what? To its credit, no gay panic jokes.
that's true.
I mean, kind of the kid with the dress.
Yeah, there's kind of a trans joke in there, and that one's
yeah.
not good.
But like, it wasn't. But like, it was okay. So like, this came out a year after Ace Ventura. There wasn't a guy accidentally kisses another guy, or finds out a girl is actually trans and starts puking and how disgusting. Like, there was nothing like that. So like, as far as the gay phobia, tough stuff like that, it was pretty mild for a 90s movie.
That is true.
It was, well, that's the thing. It was, it's Damon Wayans. So, racially, with the exception of the Asian stereotype guy in his dream, that was pretty much the only really bad part in that regard. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a product of the year 1995, and it was Damon Wayans who was on In Living Color with Jim Carrey, and in the year and a half before this movie came out, we had Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, and Ace Ventura. So, like, a coworker of his just had 3 hit movies where he's playing a character, putting on a voice, and doing wacky shit. So he's just like, well, if Jim Carrey can do it, so can I. And, well, this time it didn't work out. But I think the Wayans brothers do definitely have, they are kind of one of the big families of comedy. They definitely did put out some great comedy.
Yeah, they did.
Points.
It's baffling to me overall because they've done so many good comedies. They have so many good, on their own right, comedians in their family. And then this came out, and I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like every band has to put out one bad track, and I feel like this is the Wayans' one bad track.
Yeah. I think the reason my dad had us watch this is because we would watch My Wife and Kids in the evenings.
I didn't know you were married and had kids. Well, I know you were married, but...
I'm married, but I don't have kids. Unless you count the 4-legged little turds that run around here.
And I do. Wait,
I'm trying to see where they're at. They must be in the kitchen.
But anyway, it's definitely a movie. It was interesting and fun talking about it, because the thing is just like, I have to say, I didn't think this movie was good, but at the very least, it didn't commit the cardinal sin of movies in that I wasn't bored. The worst thing a movie can be is boring. I didn't think this movie was boring. I thought it was... But a lot of it was just like, I can't believe they're doing this weird stuff, and it's just like, I don't know how to feel about this. But at the same time, at least there was stuff there's stuff to talk about. There's stuff to talk about, and that makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you, Dre? What are your final thoughts on this movie?
Like I said, it's a veritable nothing burger with attempts at heartwarmy goodness, but follows the same formulaic thing that a lot of 90s movies fell victim to, which was over-the-top, absurdist humor. For the sake of haha funny, I mean, the overuse of turd throughout the entire movie was too much. The voice alone on its own right was an atrocious decision. And the plot falls apart at every last corner in my book. And for that reason, I will probably never rewatch this movie.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to watch it again.
Heartwarmy, yeah.
Yeah, it's heartwarmy for sure.
Yes. Well, then I guess there's really not much else left to say. When it comes to Major Payne, it's no longer a missing movie.
It is indeed.
But
Tora, do you have anything you want to plug coming up?
I have a stream on Wednesdays. Wednesday evenings. It would be 8:00 Central.
Oh,
or
we playing Phasmo on Wednesday?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll
Every
join
Wednesday,
for some Phasmo.
We play Phasmophobia with Bunny and Twig when he can make it, and anybody else who wants to join, up to 4, over on my channel and on Bunny's. And that's really the only thing I have coming up this week because I haven't had a lot of time to do other stuff. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's nothing more to do but say goodbye and tell y'all to have a wonderful night. We're gonna go right into eBay Shoujo, who just re-debuted.
Yeah, eBay's back!
eBay's
Sorry,
back.
my excitement was too real.
Yeah.
Your excitement should be real.
Thank you so much to Drayfrjg for being a great co-host. Thank you so much for Tora for being a great guest. And thank you to all my viewers for watching in. And we'll see you next time for a movie that will be announced soon. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, guys! Alright, I gotta piss real bad, so I will.
Okay, yeah, everyone can still hear
catch
you.
you guys later.
Everyone can
Oh
still
no!
hear you. Yeah.
They can hear me!
Yeah, everyone knows you're gonna go take a piss now.
Oh god! They know I gotta piss! They know I'm a big pisser!
Pickle. Oh, I'm in a pickle. I'm in a pickle.
I had to do a bit, I'm sorry.
I
You're
cleared
good.
it already?
I know that little scene is always,